Welcome back, everyone. I am super excited to talk about PLTR stock today because I realized the CEO, Alex Karp, was raised in Philadelphia and graduated from Central High School, my freaking high school. Central was founded in 1836. It's one of the best and most diverse high schools in the nation. By the way, Central High School is the only high school in the United States that is authorized to grant Bachelor's of Arts degrees from graduating from high school. So CEO of PLTR, Alex Karp, has a Jewish father and an African-American mother. Wow, that's some seriously cool diversity. It makes me believe in the stock even more because a good leader is gold, and a lot of diversity in a company has shown that it does actually have better performance for the company long term. Alex Karp even expressed his support for Reddit traders who bet heavily on shorted stocks. He said in January during the short interest squeeze, "I'm very proud that normal people investing their own money with their own risk, making their own opinion, made a lot of money." I'm going to discuss specifically why I think PLTR can 10x to 400 billion market cap. We're going to get a glimpse by looking at IBM and PLTR partnership to see what it could grow into, and I'll give you a hint, it's very exciting. I want to first start with why data analytics is my favorite area to invest in right now. The data companies collect from consumers and their own operations will be the main growth engine for every business imaginable. The massive volumes of information generated and used for decision making in business today fuel the booming business of data analytics and big data companies. Big data companies, combined with analytics technology, help businesses achieve valuable insights in many areas, not just customer service. It's also internal operations of that company and how they use that data to operate more efficiently. The data creation and gathering process comes from sources that may be siloed across an organization. PLTR has consulting and resources for companies to actually combine the data onto one platform and make it way more easier to visualize. If you look at the chart, March 8th looks like they had a bottom set into the stock. Now also on March 5th, as you guys can see, the red day volume was pretty high in terms of trading, so it looks like investors that were spooked into selling their shares and over panicking around the mid-22s have already set in. So many investors that were afraid of PLTR going lower have already exited the stock. Now let's get into why this stock can 10x and is worth $400 billion. IBM and PLTR recently partnered in February to help businesses easily deploy powerful and open AI applications. The two companies will deliver the expertise and data science skills businesses need to scale AI-infused solutions. What makes me very bullish on this partnership is their joint venture in artificial intelligence. See guys, like peanut butter and jelly, data and AI go together very well. 75% of businesses surveyed in an IBM-sponsored report say that they are exploring or implementing AI technology. However, guys, this is what gets really interesting and I think is the biggest opportunity for both, well, of course, IBM and PLTR, is that 37% of the companies surveyed cited that they had limited AI expertise and 31% cited that they have increasing data complexities and silos as barriers to successful adoption. That means they're very likely to require outside help, and they're also very likely to pay for that help since big data is an area that does help companies achieve a lot more profitable revenue. What also makes me most excited about an AI-infused application partnership between PLTR and IBM is the reach that they will have across helping a wide variety of businesses. The first one, and this sector has been suffering greatly. I mean, this sector, I wouldn't be surprised, they're ready to spend anything possible to get back in action, is retail. Retail often faces a complex challenge to deliver goods when, where, and how customers want in the face of fluctuating supply and demand. PLTR for IBM Cloud Pak for data is being designed to provide retailers with increased levels of visibility and transparency by integrating data across their operational silos and using that data to quickly build new AI models and applications. This can help retailers to simulate and predict consumer behavior and continuously monitor the health of their supply chain to proactively address critical issues and adapt faster to changes in demand and supply. So retail is a huge area for improvement in terms of the sector, and it's also a huge area of opportunity for PLTR and IBM's partnership. Now, the next one is financial services. Many financial services institutions have grown through mergers and acquisitions, which often results in fragmented data because these two companies merging have their own data sets and it's very difficult to combine them. So the application environment is very messy. When you know your customer is a priority across the merged entity, it becomes a significant application development and project that IBM and PLTR can improve. This type of data integration endeavor to have a single client view is a very important thing for any company that has recently gone through a merger or an acquisition. PLTR for IBM Cloud Pak for Data is planning to help with rapid data integration, cleansing, deduplication, and mapping to a common data model. All right, now obviously financial services are kind of the dinosaur in the room. I worked at multiple different hedge funds and a few different banks, and almost all of them have had really old technology. It almost surprises me how these companies still run with computers that are probably from the 1990s or early 2000s, and also a lot of the software is outdated. So in my belief and honestly my experience from what I've seen, it almost makes sense that every single bank is going to need to outsource to a technology company, because whether you want to believe it or not, every single company is in the software business. Even a YouTuber is in the software business, because software is the easiest way to scale a business and actually run something that is on the internet. And financial service companies are now really involved with the internet because most people are not signing up at a local branch. Most people are opening accounts online, and these financial services companies need to adapt unless they want to get killed by new innovative fintech companies. And believe me, these financial companies, they have a lot of old money, so they have the cash reserves on their balance sheet to invest in things such as PLTR and IBM's Cloud Pak for Data. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, of course, aside from financial service companies, which are a huge part of the economy, there's another huge part of the economy that PLTR and IBM are going to be involved with, and that is healthcare. Data silos have long plagued the healthcare industry, potentially preventing data analysis that could improve business processes and overall care for the patient and that patient healthcare provider interaction. Now, PLTR for IBM Cloud Pak for Data is intended to help unify data across silos to provide consistent data set for healthcare providers, researchers, and institutions to analyze in order to generate outcomes for their business and patient. Healthcare is one of the biggest opportunities for data analytics because typically a lot of healthcare practices are also similar to financial services, where a lot of older methods are being used, a lot of more manual methods are being used, and right now there's a rapid adoption of technology and software in the medical field. Now, the next area we're going to discuss is telecommunications. In addition to supply chain management and fraud management, improving quality of service and optimizing marketing and sales campaigns to attract and retain customers is a very common goal amongst all companies, but specifically in the telecommunications sector. Now, PLTR for IBM Cloud Pak for Data is being used to design and help combine data from suppliers, but also CRM applications, sales orders, and production data with models for campaign optimization. So for telecommunications, there's a lot of opportunities within sales and marketing, but also within call center optimization and attrition prediction and prevention in order to improve customer care, somewhat similar to healthcare experience, but this is really important because it increases value across multiple business objectives for the telecommunications space. All of these are areas that are going to skyrocket IBM's, but also PLTR's revenue over the long term. And these areas for improvement are very interesting to me because all of the sectors that I mentioned are pretty much dominating the entire US economy. That's why I believe in their potential to grow much bigger than their current valuation. And I think $250 per share, which is a 10x from current levels, is what this stock can be trading in the future when they add these additional revenue streams and also additionally, of course, grow their contract base further. Companies like PLTR and CEO, for that matter, are virtually guaranteed success when the country's government is involved with the company's success. PLTR has their hands in the government's pockets, which is a great way to directly invest in government spending money. Also, guys, let me break down this image for you. I posted this before, but I think it's very important to understand. if you're an investor in PLTR or you're planning to be an investor here, because this image right here on the left side, revenue from their top 20 customers is increasing, which is a very good sign for the long-term relationships with the top customers. That means the customers that they already have like their services and are spending more money to upgrade and expand their business. Now that's amazing, guys. That's exactly what I look for, but what happens when the top 20 customers become the entire revenue stream for PLTR? Well, they may be in a tough situation because they're relying too heavily on a few key relationships, and if they end up losing one, then the stock ends up tanking. However, the right side of this image, you see here that is just not the case. The right-hand chart says, actually, instead, customer concentration is not only growing for the top 20, but also the top 20 customers as a percentage of total revenue is actually decreasing. So folks, we have a double whammy here in terms of picking a stock to get stupid rich with, because not only are revenues rising for the top 20 customers, but obviously this company is growing massively and expanding into multiple sectors, and they're growing their overall contract volume and their contract base. That's why I'm not surprised that Cathie Wood is in PLTR and she's been raising her position time and time again. And to me, it's clear that this stock has a future, and I'm putting it on my buy list because I think that PLTR not only has growth, but it has a 10x potential in its future. If you guys want to see how I am trading options on PLTR, I just posted today a few options on PLTR that have been an easy $50 per week on a very little investment with options. So make sure to check out the Patreon if you want to see how me and the members over there are continuously collecting easy money on PLTR stock using options week in and week out. I'd love to see you guys there. That membership basically pays for itself within just a few days of looking at the trades that I'm making. Let me know if you guys have any questions and what stocks that you want to see me cover next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys back here very, very soon. And don't forget to be aggressive in learning, but be safe in investing.